grinding, I stay prepared. Life got a price tag, I already paid it there. I stay grinding.
I stay grinding, I stay prepared, because life has a price to pay. Yeah, let's go. I stay grinding, I stay prepared, because life has a price to pay. Yeah, let's go. I stay grinding. Communities forged through survival and displacement carry a distinct inheritance, an absolute sacrificial work ethic. But look at what happens when that drive collides with the arithmetic of Western economies. This ledger maps a representative South Sudanese diaspora household. A $62,000 income is quickly devoured by the fixed costs of housing, transportation, and taxes. When a $5,000 annual obligation for homeland remittances drops onto that balance sheet, the remaining financial margin vanishes entirely. The math produces a harsh reality. A population defined by immense cultural wealth remains structurally trapped in a cycle of financial strain. I'm Mira Astros. Today is April 19th, 2026, and we are analyzing the mechanics of exactly how and why that happens in our deep dive when village loyalty becomes an economic burden. The data and frameworks discussed today are for educational purposes only and do not constitute professional financial advice. This analysis is drawn from the work of Gabriel B. Ajak, an entrepreneur and senior executive fellow at Harvard Kennedy School. His research applies behavioral economics and institutional analysis to the specific financial behaviors of the former Lost Boys of Sudan. We will deconstruct the mathematical reality of diaspora economics and the behavioral psychology driving those decisions, providing a precise framework to transition a community from emotional spending to strategic ownership. The goal of this data is not to diminish cultural loyalty or homeland devotion. The goal is to rescue that loyalty from an execution strategy that is mathematically guaranteed to fail. The structural vulnerability begins with baseline income. The diaspora largely operates in an earning band that cannot support massive surplus giving without severe consequence. This side-by-side comparison reveals the pressure. At roughly $77,000, the median Black immigrant household out-earns the general U.S. Black median of $54,000. But that income immediately collides with an average U.S. household expenditure that now exceeds $78,000. Drill down into those expenditures, and housing alone consumes over $26,000, while transportation accounts for another $13,000. Factor in taxes, healthcare, childcare, and basic food costs, and the true financial buffer for a working-class household in a Western economy is entirely eliminated. Add to this structure a $5,000 average annual remittance obligation, a baseline figure documented in demographic research, and the household is operating at a deficit. That strain is heavily compounded by unbudgeted cultural requirements. Funerals, visiting chief ceremonies, and prestige sponsorships for homeland projects demand continuous outflows of capital. To maintain this impossible standard, households adopt a fragile coping mechanism. They rely entirely on guaranteed, heavy overtime just to cover base survival and patriotic gestures. Treating highly variable overtime as guaranteed base income means the household is trading physical exhaustion for zero net gain. It systematically destroys the capacity to save, invest, or build equity. The arithmetic is unambiguous. So why do intelligent, hard-working families repeatedly execute a strategy that leads directly to a poverty trap? The answer lies in behavioral economics. This grid maps the four primary psychological drivers dictating the community's allocation of capital. The first is identity utility. Sending money home purchases a specific self-concept. It confirms the sender is a loyal survivor and a responsible patriot, delivering a powerful emotional return. The second driver is reputational pressure. The diaspora functions as an intense social empire that visibly rewards prestige spending while keeping financial solvency entirely hidden. The social penalty for non-compliance is immediate. Many members choose to appear honorable in public and insolvent on paper, because declining a homeland contribution carries a higher perceived cost than a damaged credit score. The third driver is optimism bias. It is the dangerous cognitive error of assuming that future health, infinite overtime shifts and job stability will always be there to cover today's financial generosity. The final and deepest root is trauma-linked meaning. Remitting money satisfies a psychological need to prove that surviving extreme displacement, war, and loss was genuinely worth the sacrifice. For the Lost Boys, that specific trauma response is a highly valid human impulse. The magnitude of what this generation endured makes the desire to rebuild the homeland entirely understandable. But an understandable emotional response does not alter mathematics. Allowing trauma-linked meaning to dictate modern capital allocation guarantees intergenerational poverty for the children born in the diaspora. Analyzing this dynamic creates immediate emotional friction. Critiquing the remittance model is often interpreted as a direct betrayal of the village and the family. The primary defense is the belief that maximum homeland support and local household advancement can easily coexist. The data proves otherwise. Without a disciplined sequence based on actual financial surplus, dual-focus spending severely compromises the resources required to educate, house, and advance the children raised in the diaspora. The second objection is an emotional accusation. Setting strict boundaries on giving equates to abandoning vulnerable relatives who have no other resources. This entirely misunderstands the solution. The requirement is strategic proportion and operational sequence. It is about organizing the giving to prevent the collapse of the sender, not abandoning the receiver. The final, deeply political fear is that if the diaspora pauses or restricts its massive investment, the homeland economy will completely collapse. The inverse is actually true. A diaspora remitting from a state of chronic, overtime-dependent strain possesses no real power. It guarantees long-term economic failure in both locations. True institutional leverage requires capital. Establishing absolute financial dominance locally produces enough power to effect structural, lasting change in the homeland. Gabriel B. Ajak created the Learn and Invest framework to engineer that exact leverage. This pyramid is the sequential architecture required to shift a household from emotional spending to strategic ownership. Step 1. Households must build a budget using only their base income. Overtime must be strictly reclassified as a highly variable, unguaranteed surplus, never relied upon for fixed expenses. Step 2 requires accumulating 6 to 12 months of liquid emergency reserves. This buffer must be fully established before scaling any external giving or prestige spending. Step 3 defeats present bias through automation. Savings transfers and employer matches must be automated before the paycheck reaches a checking account. Step 4 is the aggressive pursuit of home ownership. Securing property is the primary wealth-building mechanism in Western economies, superseding all ceremonial costs. Step 5 establishes a fixed, budget-constrained remittance policy. External giving only ever occurs at the tip of the pyramid, drawn exclusively from a position of true mathematical surplus. Pause and apply this to your own balance sheet. What happens to your homeland obligations when AI automation eliminates your overtime shifts? How does the community redefine success if financial health replaces funeral sponsorships? And are you preparing your children to inherit leverage or just a new version of survival? Executing this framework requires a generational pivot. The community must replace the wartime virtue of extreme, reckless endurance with the peacetime discipline of strict financial stewardship. This analysis points to a single critical realization: sustainability is not the enemy of generosity. It is the required infrastructure for it. This flowchart compares the outcomes. The old model drains every dollar of income toward immediate external obligations, leaving a hollowed-out asset base. The new model fills a compounding household core first, allowing only the true overflow to spill outward. History provides the precedent. The Jewish diaspora did not successfully build the State of Israel while living on thin margins. They consolidated wealth, education, and political leverage over decades first. South Sudanese diaspora patriotism must make the exact same transition. It must evolve from emotional symbolism to disciplined, measurable financial execution. This requires institutional backing. Cultural organizations and diaspora churches must begin treating household financial literacy with the exact same moral authority as homeland fundraising. The mandate is clear: build the household before you build the village. Automate savings, acquire assets, protect your income. Help home only from a position of undeniable strength. Thank you for investing your time with us today. Your attention is a non-renewable asset. If this framework changed how you view your balance sheet, share it with your community and send your feedback to the email below. Structural discipline is the highest form of loyalty. Learn, invest, and build the leverage required to actually serve your homeland over the long run. Gabriel Ajak is a former Lost Boy. His goal is protecting the future of the diaspora's children. An asset-light diaspora lacks the capital to provide South Sudan with the sustainable, long-term investment it requires. Symbolic gestures cannot substitute for institutional leverage. Moving past the theory requires a practical reset at the household level. This program is for educational purposes. For inquiries or community engagement, the author can be reached at gabriel.ajak@hotmail.com. Support this work by subscribing. As always, learn and invest. As always,
I stay grinding, I stay prepared. Life got a price tag, I already paid it there. I stay grinding, I stay prepared. Life got a price tag, I already paid it there. No days off, I'm locked in the game. Pressure build diamonds, I love the pain. Every step forward, I'm staking my claim. Eyes on the target, I'm taking my aim. Focus sharp, never slipping away. Grind don't stop, I was built this way. Every night I invest, every morning I pray. I stay grinding, that's how I stay great. Yeah, 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 let's go. I stay grinding, I stay prepared. Life got a price tag, I already paid my share. Yeah, yeah, let's go. I stay grinding, I stay prepared. Life got a price tag, I'm already there. They sleep on the vision, I'm wide awake. No shortcuts, taking no corners fake. Every sacrifice made for everything at stake. Watch how I move, every move I make. Grind mode activated, can't turn it off. They doubted my hunger, I proved them wrong. From nothing to something, that's my song. Stay ready, stay locked in, all day long. Stay grinding, stay prepared. Towards the pay, and I'm right there. Stay grinding, stay prepared. Price to pay, and I'm right there. This ain't for the weak, this ain't for the lost. I counted the cost before I crossed. Every door I knocked it down. Grind more forever, that's my crown. I stay grinding, I stay prepared. Life got a price tag, I already paid it there. I stay grinding, I stay prepared. Life got a price tag, I'm already paid it there. I stay grinding, I stay prepared. Life got a price tag, I'm already paid it there. I stay grinding, I stay prepared. Life got a price tag, I'm already paid it there.